Question number 27. The graph shows the variation with the diffraction angle of the intensity of light. This is the intensity of light when the monochromatic light is incident on the 4 slits. So what's happening here? When you have a single slit, you call this as pure diffraction. When you have 2 slits, then what's happening? There is a diffraction plus an interference, right? And when you have 4 slits, definitely the diffraction and interference is seen. That's why you see something like the peaks are being modulated like this over here, right? You can see the peaks to be modulated in this way, right? Now what we will do is, so we have 4 slits over here. Whenever you have 4 slits, if n is the number of slits, the number of minima that you can have here is n minus 2. So when you have 4 slits, you should have 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2 minima. See, there are 2 minima over here, 1, 2 over here, and then you get a maximum over here, right? Everything works well. Now the number of slits is increased. Okay, number of slits is increased, keeping the width and separation of the slits to be unchanged. Okay, so this n is now increased. Maybe initially now you have 4, you may make it to be 8 also. Okay, let us say that. Okay, then keeping the width of the slit and the separation between the slits unchanged. So width is kept constant and separation between the slits also is kept constant. Okay, the possible changes to the pattern are the separation of the primary maxima increases. Separation of the primary maxima. What is the primary maxima? This is your primary maxima. Okay, so with it increase, this will not increase. Why? The reason is because this value, the width of this now depends, it's a function of the capital D and small d. What is capital D? Distance between the slits and the screen, and also small d. What is d? Small d is nothing but the distance between the 2 slits. Distance between 2 slits, we are not changing any one of them. So as a result of it, this will not change, right? It does not increase or decrease over here, it remains the same. Then second one, the intensity of the primary maxima increases. Intensity, what is intensity? This is your intensity, right? The peak that you see is your intensity. Intensity of this primary maxima will increase. So why does it happen? Let us see that what is the reason. So light from the other slits, see for example, if you have only 2 slits like this, one ray from here will come, other ray from here will come. This is your primary maxima. Now if I put more slits like this, okay, logically we can reason it like this. If I put more number of slits, that's what it says, right? The number of slits is increased. Then what will happen? A ray from here will also come here. This ray will also come here. This ray will also come here. Every ray will point to it. As a result of it, there is a possibility that the intensity which was once upon a time like this will now start growing up like this also, right? Now this can happen. So as a result of it, intensity of the primary maxima can increase, right? Then the width of the primary maxima decreases. Now you know what is interference or diffraction. Interference or diffraction is nothing but distribution of intensity, right? Let us say for example, the light source that you have here is giving you something like 100 units of this intensity here, and you put more number of sources over here. What can happen? This intensity initially was being shared only by 2 slits. Okay, now if you put more number of it, what can happen? Then this intensity has to be shared by all the fringes that you are getting over here, and since you are getting more number of spots over here like this, so what can happen? This width will now reduce. Okay, and as a result of it, the width of the primary maxima will reduce, and you might get a much larger peak like this. Earlier, first time when you got it, how was it? Now you are getting like this over here. You are getting a small intensity, small peak, width of it was much larger like this here. Okay, but when the number of slits is increased, then you will not get a peak like this, but instead you will get a peak like this over here. You will get a peak like this, and this will be a sharp fringe over here, and the width will be reduced. So therefore this is also correct, though I have taken a large time, but this is very essential to understand the phenomena in this. So this 2 and 3 are the correct ones. 2 and 3 are the correct ones. Okay.